Alright, so now I'm going to show you a whip stitch. So you want to start with a threaded needle and the thread on the other end having a knot. So a knot on one end and a needle on the other. And a whip stitch is usually done along the edge of something. And it can just be the raw edge that's just cut, or if you want, you can bend it over and do it along a folded edge. So what you're going to do is you're going to start on the bottom underneath the fabric. You're going to push through and you're going to pull your thread until you get to the knot and the knot stops. Now you're going to come back underneath and bring your needle up through the fabric, pull, and then you'll see the thread goes around the edge. That's what you're doing. So when we did the straight stitch, we went up, then down, then up, then down, then up, then down. With the whip stitch, we're just always going up through our fabric. So now I'm going to come up, and I want the spacing to be about the same spacing. Come up through the bottom and pull, up through the bottom and pull. And I want each of these spaces between each of these black stitches to be the same. Okay, and then when you get to the end, so here these got a little wonky here, these few stitches. Those first 6 stitches that I did look really nice, and then they got a little wonky. I got a little lazy, unfortunately. Now, just like with the straight stitch, about 4 nice neat whip stitches around the edge is great. And that's enough. They should be close together in the same spacing away from the edge, the raw edge of your fabric. Then you're going to flip it over to the back side. Now, you want to leave yourself enough thread again. If you leave like this much thread and your needle is here, you are not going to have enough room to tie this off. You've really got to leave yourself probably, I would say, 4 or 5 inches, then the needle, in order to have enough thread to tie off. So, now that I'm ready to tie off, I go under my last stitch, just like I tied off on my straight stitch. I go under my last stitch. As I go under it, my thread makes this loop. I go through the loop with my needle. Again, if the thread was too short, I couldn't get my needle through this loop. So I go through the loop and I pull, and I want to tie off on the back here, not on the other side. I want my knots on the same side. Then I go under the stitch again, which I'm essentially going under the knot again. I make this loop, I go through the loop a second time, and I pull to make a knot, and then I'm going to snip that off. And that's how you tie off a whip stitch. Just like you tied off your straight stitch, you tie off your whip stitch on the same side as the knot, so on the back side.